then look at what other people have to face. Every successful person has faced difficulties in their life and career. My guests will share with us the challenges they have overcome on the road to success. Every week we'll follow their story right here in Life with me, Patti Boulaye. Hello and welcome to Life with me, Patti Boulaye. Now my guest today, whoa, she is the first lady of house music, okay? My guest is Kym Mazelle, singer-songwriter, and who can forget her hit, my favorite, Young Hearts Run Free. I'm not doing it justice, but Kym.
You are. Yes, you
Kym,
are, darling.
welcome to Life. My goodness.
Life with Patti Boulaye.
Life with me, my honey.
And we love it. Life with you is grand. Life with you is fabulous. Let them know.
You know, I mean, I know that you came here on your own, left your family behind in America and came to the UK.
Yeah.
Now, it couldn't have been easy because heaven knows in the business, you need at least one person to be watching your back. What was it like?
There were so many trials, so many trial and errors, you know, trying to figure out who is with you for what or what do you need to watch. And I just basically let my young heart run free. And I'm a very trusting person. So I just sort of trusted the kindness of people, and some were genuine and some weren't. But it was very difficult because, as you say, you do need someone to watch your back.
Oh, yeah.
And when you don't have someone watching your back, sometimes you find out the consequences straight away. Sometimes it takes a while. Mm-hmm. And the ones that take a while obviously are more detrimental because you've invested trust into a person or into a relationship only to find out later that you've been, you know, deceived a bit. So it was, you know, really, really.
That's tough.
You know, it was.
Did you
tough.
cry a lot like me?
I called my mom.
I'm not ashamed to say I cried a lot.
I called home a lot.
Yes.
I was quite. I was on the other end of the spectrum. I drank a lot.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. I didn't go there.
Well,
I cried a lot.
That was BC, before Christ.
Yes.
And I got a testimony, child. I really do. So I really do. So yeah, it was a challenge, and you know, being one of the pioneers of house music and bringing a new form of music to an industry that had dried up. Now, we didn't realize it when you're young and you creating things. You just know that your record's on the radio in another country. Like, really? Wow, let's go. So a load of us, like the Beverly Hillbillies, we loaded up not the truck and moved to Beverly, but we loaded up the airplane, all of us, and came to the UK, did all the little shows and all the little radio shows.
Who came with you?
Frankie Knuckles, who is like one of the Godfather House Music, came with me. Marshall Jefferson, who's another founder of house music. Tin City, which was Byron Stingley and the other gentleman. Gosh, I can't even think of all of them. Robert Owens came. There were like all the early house pioneers. They were all male. I was the only girl.
You were the only girl. Well, that's why you stood out, honey.
I was the only, because some of the other young women were asked, but none of them wanted to come. Okay. Number one, we were making good money in the States, and they weren't really offering a lot of cash, and the girls were just looking at cash. I was looking at opportunity.
Brilliant.
You know, I was looking at opportunity.
I like that word, opportunity. It's when the doors open, I always say, put your foot firmly in it. If you look at the money, you know, I mean, I always say to people, you pay me money, I'll spend it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, won't you just?
You pay me money, it's gone. It means nothing to me. But just give me opportunity. Open the doors, especially if it's leading to what we do in our industry, which is entertain, make people happy.
Yes.
If it's leading to enhancing somebody's life.
Yes.
It's worth every
leading to
penny.
that goal. And,
Exactly.
you know, I was picked up because I had my small label. After I graduated from university, I started a small label with two other business partners. One was working kind of in management with me, and another one was doing promotion. And we started a small label, pressed 200 copies of a record. We put it where then there was DJ pools, New York, Chicago. We only pressed about 1,000, 1,500 copies. That's all we needed because at that time they came, picked up the record, put it on the DJ pool list, and DJs from all over the world would get the record, take it to wherever they were, play it. That was the calling card.
Gosh,
That was
it
my
sounds so
business
easy.
card. That was my business card.
Yeah.
Someone out in Europe, London, called me and said, come over for a showcase.
Wow. Well, you see, that's happening now with the internet.
Yes.
Okay, because I noticed, who is it I was listening to? Trevor Noah?
Trevor Noah. Yes.
He got,
Yes.
what's it? The Daily...
Oh, yes.
yeah, is it the Daily Show it's called?
I'm not sure, but
In
I know
America?
Trevor Noah. Yeah, he's from South Africa.
He's from South Africa.
Yes.
That's what happened. They picked him up on the internet, and he is so
He's very good.
amazing.
Justin Bieber.
Oh, yes, another one.
Justin Bieber was found on YouTube.
See, you didn't have internet, so you guys had to do the
We had
groundwork.
Footernet.
You had Footernet. I love that.
Yeah, Footernet. You had to
Oh,
really, really go for it. So, yeah. And put the records in the back of the trunk and sell them out the back of the car and, just get to every DJ you could find. You just had to go by foot,
Well, these days, DJs, gosh, there's so many of them.
They're a dime a dozen,
They're-
darling. Sorry.
You don't know where to go now.
Who's who?
You don't know
who's
who,
the reputable one
Yeah.
that can really get your things placed because I was speaking to quite a lot of established DJs. The ones in the mid-range, they may not be doing $1 million a show, but they're in the middle. They're earning good money.
Yes.
And a lot of them, their jobs are getting sort of like outsourced by these young little bedroom DJs, we call them, on GarageBand, who just want their name on a flyer.
Really?
They'll do it for a soda and their name on a flyer.
Wow.
Or a bottle of wine and their name on a flyer. So they could show their friends,
Of course, of course.
And they're not very good yet either. So a lot of these DJs that have families and they're saying, these little kids are outsourcing us because they just want their name on a flyer. To
Wow.
appear next to a bigger DJ's name. And
So that's
to
another
be on the
challenge
bill.
now,
That's yes.
because the market has moved so somewhere else really, and the young people coming into the business now. I
Yes.
mean, what would they do? Mind you, they know more than we do.
They know more than we do. They know how to work cyberspace.
They know how to work cyberpay because we just think, okay, you just print the record, the vinyl,
Yes.
and get it out and distribute it to the A&R, and I don't think they exist anymore, quite honestly.
There's a few A&R, but their job and set of skills is in a whole different vein now because they are also privy to how to work the internet. They go on YouTubes to find
course.
up and coming. That is their A&R job.
Yes.
You no longer send a cassette for A&R to listen to.
They just put it on.
They just put it on. They go and they just sort of stream the internet. There's no longer. You remember when you got a deal and they would invest in you to work you
Yes.
to become
Oh, no,
an
that
artist?
doesn't happen anymore.
That doesn't happen
Yeah,
anymore.
you
have
invest
to-
in you, and
you
then
do it
they
yourself.
discover you. Yeah.
And they look at the numbers, however
Yes.
many numbers you have on your YouTube or your Instagram. That is what makes them come in and maybe, offer you a deal. But if you've done all that work, you don't need them really either.
Well, exactly.
Because you've got the internet now.
Well, exactly.
It's like, well, but the kids don't know that.
Yeah, that's
They still have
true.
that mystery around signing away everything. It's like, no, if you've done all that work, darling, that is the work.
That is the work.
Young girls,
Yeah.
young boys who don't want to listen.
I tell you what, though, I want to. I really, from what you said, I really want to kind of touch on the spirit you have. The word I would use is cultivated. Okay, because I know you teach a lot of young ladies and young men
Yes,
now
Yes.
about life.
About life. Yeah.
And, with the experience you've had with show business, with the things that you have gone through, it's really wonderful that you're passing it down now.
Yes.
Now, my question is, where is the strength come from? Where's the strength you've got? Where does it come from?
Well, obviously it comes from God, because without Him you cannot do anything. And I must say that I've learned to not lean on my own understanding. Let me just say that.
Honey, I think we've all been there. We've been there.
I've learned not to lean on my own understanding. With a lot of young people, you see them leaning on their own understanding, learning how to try to navigate through life through people, their own peers, not elders who've been through it, but someone else who doesn't even know more than you.
Yeah.
And I try to tell them, I'm like, it's all right to sort of, speak to your peers and talk about what you're going through. But you need to find a mentor, an older person, an older woman, a teenager, your auntie, your, a lot of them don't want to talk to their mothers because their mothers don't know anything. My mom doesn't know anything. I'm like, she was young before.
Do you know what? Funny you should say that, because I won't mention her name, but this very high-flying lady and really important job, she got in touch with me on social media. Would I mentor her? So I Google her and I'm thinking, why does she need a mentor? Okay, she wants a mentor. So we have a conversation and I say to her, but shouldn't you be asking your mother this question? What's your mother? She said, oh, my mother's in business and, and I said, where's she from? She said, she's Nigerian. I said, really? So I said, anyway, she goes on and she describes this very strong woman. So I turned around. I turned around and said to her, what you calling me for? I said, will you swallow your pride and go and listen to your mother?
Yes.
I said, talk to your mother. She knows everything you need to know.
Yes.
Get her strength from her. You don't need me.
Yes.
You've got her already. What is it with you ladies? You think your mother knows nothing? Mother's voice is always the wrong voice.
But it always follows you, though, when you get on your own. Like when I came here on my own, only person I heard in my head was my mother.
Yeah.
Don't you leave that room like that.
Yep.
I don't care if no one else is in here. This is what I taught you. Clean up after yourself. I mean, her voice was following me everywhere. I'm like, I'm on my own, Mom. Wait a minute. Why are you in my head?
Honestly, she is. When I came, you can imagine, the first show I did was hair.
Yes.
And that was the den of iniquity.
That was the den.
And it was my mother's voice that kept me on the straight and narrow.
Yes.
Because I could almost feel her slap.
Oh.
I am telling you, I could, literally. I pick up the phone to my mother, I could almost feel the slap. Yeah. I was looking, somebody was talking about, they wanted to interview me about Love Island. And I looked about, because I was supposed to make a comment on it.
Oh, yes.
And so I went and looked at it. I've never seen it before. I'm thinking, that woman will put a mark on me when I got home.
Okay.
After being on that program, I don't care how old you get.
Yeah.
But I love that. And you benefited from that. I love the fact that we have mothers who just, even if you hated hearing it, but as soon as you leave, you begin
right
to...
Here.
Exactly.
It's right here.
It's right
and
there.
even back then, in the communities where I'm from, Gary, Indiana, it's a small town, a small village. It was basically, it's called them chocolate cities. When all the blacks came there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love
because
that.
the steel mills were there.
Yeah.
And the blacks came from the South to get the jobs. And it was basically, it changed over, when we started doing segregation and moving in, and Martin Luther King came in. So our neighborhoods were really, really solid. Everyone knew everyone. Miss Janie, Miss So-and-so down the street, everybody. So the neighborhood was full of mentors. The lady next door would mentor you, and you watch how she carried her life, and you learn from her. And if you did something wrong and she saw you doing it, well, you get it from her, and then you go home and you get it from Mama too. So it was like everyone was involved, a village to raise a child.
It takes a village to bring up a child. I keep telling people that.
And it was literally like that. I think we still have it like that. It may be a bit dysfunctional, because here I am from Gary, Indiana, working in Hertfordshire and around England with young people in ministry, with young people in high schools and universities. I'm not from their block per se, but I'm from the World Village. Precisely. And and God has given me enough inside of me that when it comes out of me, it's love, and I can love on them. They have a celebrity sort of like culture that's going on now, that they'll listen to a celebrity. So they'll listen to me.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
At least that's the good side of it.
Yeah, that's a good side of it. So they go like, well, Miss Kimberly was, she's cool. She's Romeo and Juliet, and we saw her on telly and da-da-da. So they'll listen.
Yes.
And you can kind of dispel some of the mysteries and the myths of the industry, you know. The glitter that's gold. It's like, darling.
Do you know when I go and I stand in front of the students, I always say to them, take a good look. And then dispel everything you see. Because I'm about to strip all of that and give you the reality.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
because obviously it's always good. Because at first I used to think, oh no, dress business like. I said, no, go show business.
Yeah.
And then strip it off and tell them. Because the
Yes.
girls, I say to them, when we go to premieres, we wear, push them up,
Everything.
slit up to there. Because
Well,
you got to get the picture.
Yes.
No, seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? Because otherwise, you might as well stay at home. Right. Now, there are bodyguards, there are securities,
Yes.
there are all sorts of things. But
There's
these
all
young
sorts of
girls
things.
will copy that style and wear it down a dark
Down the
road.
high street as well.
Unbelievable.
It's true.
And on top of that, they are drunk.
Yes.
Okay? So that is, you've seen them.
I've seen them passed out on the road in the West End, and their friends just leave them behind, and it's not a good look. They've been influenced so much by the industry, and like you said, I try to break it down because I don't really conduct myself in that way. And I try to make sure that none of my videos are showing that type of image, because people, they imitate their atmosphere. Even whatever they're watching, the television is telling them a vision. They could be telling them the wrong vision.
It's like reality television is, they don't realize children are just soaking it up like sponge, okay? I mean, how many times? I've been asked 5 times, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. I'm not doing it. I didn't sign up for that. I said, that's not what I'm in the industry for. That's not what I'm here for. They keep calling, would you? I said, no, please.
But you know what, Patty? I think you'd be great on that show, actually. I think you'd give it another twist, darling.
Whose side are you on? I'll be telling the world off. They'll be going,
great.
Get her to eat the snakes.
I think you just, and you come back to campus and say, darling, I'm sorry, but we're fasting today because I have not eaten those snakes.
Yeah, before I signed the contract, every Friday I'm fasting. That's my day with God.
Okay.
I'm not eating any of his creatures.
Amen.
And they'll be going, okay, you're going home today. Well, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, I'm coming home. No, honestly, because it's, I'm sorry, I just digressed, Now, what, like teaching the young people how to be themselves, that is the most difficult thing.
Yeah.
Is to know yourself, because I think a strong spirit.
Yes.
But they don't know anything about spirit.
Some of them do. The good one and the bad one. You just kind of pointed out to them. They're trying to learn who they are.
Yes.
And some of them, they just sort of war with it, between the television, between what goes on in the home, between like some of the older girls in the school. Because I watch some of the young girls try to imitate the older girls in the school, and I'm like, no, you're not ready yet. You don't need to wear makeup. But miss, I've got spots all over my face.
Well, that's
spots come with 13. Yes. Trust me, you're gonna have them for about 5 more years. Quit trying to put makeup all over them. They're just gonna get worse. So they have these body images that are false body images, because you see all of the Kardashians and see all of these shows that keep telling them, your body image is wrong. Everything about you is wrong. And you're just developing. When you're going through that path of development, it's not where you're going to stay.
No.
You're on your journey.
Exactly.
You're on your journey. You're not going to stay there. And I try to tell them, what are you good at? What do you want to be? And some of them figure out that they like science or they like maths. They might be a girl like, well, I like maths, but boys like maths. I'm like, no, that's good. You could use that as a skill in medicine or something. What else do you like? Miss, I like cosmetology. Miss, I like sports. I want to do swimming. I'm like, this is what you should focus on. Even with the boys, all of them looking at the football and they're going to have $1 million contract. I'm like, but what can you do? What is your skill? And I'm always with them, learn a skill, learn something, maybe in construction. You can earn a good living. I'm like, always this with my boys.
The world needs, there's a place for everyone.
I'm like, learn plumbing. I'm like, with all of this with my boys, I'm like, you can have one van and next thing you know, you've got a building.
Precisely.
So I'm like, always encouraging. And I even tell the girls, you can go into construction. You can lay out a blueprint.
Yeah.
You can do this. So, sometimes you have to open up their minds to think about that it's a living that they're trying to take care of. I'm like, you have to sustain your life with a job. You can't just. Everybody has to work.
Exactly.
Some people work jobs for a lifetime that they
Yes.
hate, but they have to look after their family. They have to keep their dignity. They look after certain things.
There's no such thing as a free lunch in
There's
life.
no free
Free
ride.
ride.
There's none. So I just try to
Yes.
tell them, find something that you're interested in other than, getting, dressed up in makeup and this and that. That's what you do on the weekend.
That's right.
After you finish your week's work.
That's right.
And you go out and you enjoy yourself. That's a reward. I'm like, a good life is a reward in itself. And I just keep trying to tell them that.
Oh.
Like, oh, miss, I get it. I think I know what you mean. If I work and I do this, then I can have my money on the week. I was like, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Kym, honestly, I would like to end on that note. You see, because I just, God bless you for putting
Amen.
this into young people. Because that's what, sometimes when we get the break that God has blessed us with, then that knowledge is then passed down, which is what you're doing. And God bless you and thank you for
Right
being
on.
on my
God
show.
bless you. And thank you
darling.
so much,
Thank you.
Miss Patti.
Thank you. Thank you.